What's up, guys? It's EcBoy from TeamCalamity. Um, I'm on holiday now, so I have time to do a video. I know I haven't done one in a while, but time constraints and all that. But this is a pretty good time to do one because the March 2013 ban list has been leaked. For those of you who don't know, this video is just gonna be me saying what is on the list and then talking a little bit about what's on the list. At the time of filming, I think that maybe some stuff may get added on, like Mind Crush got added on. So if it's updated, then I'll, do something else after the update. But this is how it is for now. So we know quite a lot already. This is on Shriek. I have to give a lot of credit for the organization on Duelist Grounds, because they got the list out like 3 days before everywhere else, and they're just very good at making sure that all the information is there, not just for Yu-Gi-Oh but for Cardfight Vanguard as well. Like they make sure that we all know everything a while before everyone else knows it, and everything. So yeah, a lot of props to them. So as you can see here, the list is up. For the banned stuff, you have Sangan and Zen Mighty. Limited, you have Wind Up Magician, One Day of Peace, and Solemn Warning. Then Semi'd, you have Tsukuyomi, Thunder King Ryo, and Advanced Ritual Art. And then unrestricted, you have Spore, Kalut, Lumina, Smoke Signal, and recently it's been updated to add Mind Crush. So yeah, the first ban is Sangan, and I don't think that anyone's gonna have too many complaints about this. Like, you could debate as to whether it was Sangan that was the problem or Tour Guide, and you can make a fair argument for either way, but Sangan as a card is just way too good, and it's been amazing for years now, quite frankly, way before the release of Tour Guide. And Tour Guide just kind of exacerbated what was already really good about it. And now I think that with Sangan banned, it's no longer that you can just splash 2 Tour Guide and a Sangan into everything. I mean, before it was 3 Tour Guide, 1 Sangan, then they put Tour Guide to 2, and it didn't really solve the problem. People were still just doing 2 Tour Guide, 1 Sangan, or if they really wanted to get the Tour Guide off, then put Night Assailant in there as well. But now you really have to think, like, you can't just splash Tour Guide, and it only really applies to decks that have synergy outside of Sangan. So Dark Worlds can use Tour Guide regardless of Sangan, so they'll continue to run it, but also it just depends on how badly you need that rank 3. So now it just brings up more questions, like, do you run 2 Tour Guide, 1 Night Assailant in case they have the Veiler or the Warning or whatever? Do you just run 2 Tour Guide on their own and risk if you summon it and then it gets negated, or double drawing and stuff like that? It brings up a lot more questions. And the Tour Guide Sangan engine also, in terms of deck building, there are a handful of decks where you could just do 2 Tour Guide Sangan, Card Troopers, and then Call of the Haunted, and that would be really consistent and really quite broken, actually, for Insectors and Agents most notably. Like, I would win so many games, even though, granted, those decks aren't the best decks, but you would just win games because you would, have that consistent call. You'd always have that target engraved, be it Trooper or Sangan, so your opponent can't blind MST, and that would make your other back row protected. It was really good, just as an engine. So I think for that reason, the Sangan ban was definitely warranted. I'm quite glad to see it go. And Zenmaity, the first Xyz to be banned, and I mean, there was Shockmaster, there's Daigusto Emerald, there's Evil Swarm Ouroboros, Lavavel Chain, Levier, all those completely ban-worthy XCs, and the first to go is Zenmaity. Um, I honestly don't think that this will stay on the ban list for too long. I mean, I can understand why they banned it. Like, they had to hit wind-ups, and I was saying for the longest time that they would definitely hit wind-ups to promote their newer sets coming out. But I expected more hits on Factory and Magician, but they just decided to straight up ban Zenmaity. I mean, Zenmaity is a very good Xyz, obviously, but I don't know, it seems a tad overkill, and it's surprising that this is the first Xyz to be banned when there's all the other ones that were mentioned that are obviously amazing. But I mean, I don't have too many complaints. Um, like wind-ups, especially with the Magician limit, they lose a lot of their power. So I don't know. Time will tell, but it's banned. First Xyz to be banned. Then wind-up Magician to 1. Obviously to hit the Magician Shark players that were tearing up the September 2012 format, and it had to happen. There were really no two ways about it. I think that this was definitely a good hit. I'm skeptical as to how else they could have hit the deck. I know that some people were talking about like semi-limit Shark, semi-limit Magician, and limit Factory, or just ban Shockmaster, but I think that if you just ban Shockmaster, then that still gives the deck a lot, because you still have Magician Shark, and semiing both Shark and Magician just seems way too long-winded. So I think you either have to limit Shark or Magician, and well, ask any wind-up player. You would rather have your Shark. Shark is too important in the deck. So, and I think that wind-ups are still playable as such, but I don't think that they'll have anywhere near as dominant a hold on the format. I think that they will be a sub-tier deck without a doubt, just because part of what made them so broken was Magician Shark and the way that you could tutor that with a Factory. And even just grind games with Magician, where you'd have Rabbit and Magician constantly getting the plus, which you can't do now with Magician at 1. So yeah, the deck is playable, but it won't dominate in my opinion, nowhere near. So Magician at 1 had to happen. The 1 Day of Peace, really glad that they decided to limit this. I mean, the card is just stupid card design, terrible terrible card design, and it helps so many just uninteractive, sort of monotonous decks. So definitely good limit. Can't really say much else. Warning to 1. I think that this is a really debatable thing as to whether limiting warning is going to be good for the game or not. I think that warning is a really kind of it's balanced in its effect technically, but it's almost like oppression in that when you have your setup, like Rabbit, if you summon Lagia and all those other sorts of things, then warning just really amplifies that setup. And I don't think that it's warning's fault as such. I think that it's all the other stuff that's being released, but with the way that the game has been headed for a while, the general power creep, warning has just gone too good in that, all I have to do is like summon anything that is decent. I can just summon a Thunder King, summon Lagia, even go into Shockmaster, all those other things, and then just set warning, and then that's effectively saying, okay, you have you have little chance of getting past me. I think that from a more satirical point of view, warning to 1 definitely helps their further releases. I mean, warning was or is the pretty much the only out to Undyne, which Obviously, now that it's at 1, makes my males a lot better. For Fire Kings, warning stopped the big chicken thing, the Gyronix. Um, so by limiting warning, it really helps further releases, but I don't think that that's the only reason. I would like to think that that's not the only reason. Warning is extremely good, and I think that, yeah, it's just a tad too powerful now, and the limit is warranted. Um, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how people build their decks now with only 1 warning. What people will opt to do instead of that. If it leans more towards bottomless, then you'll have Forbidden Lance will have um, a lot more of a hold in the meta, and not just that, because of Fire Fist as well. So there's all these factors that should prove to be interesting. But yeah, 1-1, I think it was deserved, even though I love the card. It's one of my favorite cards. But yeah, I think it was justified. Then on to the semis, Tsukuyomi to 2. I think that that's good. I mean, why it was banned for so long is just beyond me. And I think that it at 2 is definitely going to help. I mean, it's good against Fire Fist. You really want it against that matchup. And from, again, a satirical point of view, Tsukuyomi helps Prophecy. Like, if you haven't played Tsukuyomi in Prophecy, then play it, because it's really good. You get to set your things and kill Thunder King and all that. But yeah, this was a good semi. It's a good card, but not broken at all. Does not deserve to be at 1. It could easily be at 3, quite frankly, and it wouldn't affect anything. So, good job there. Thunder King, I think that it's almost in the same vein as Warning, in that it was becoming too staple. And I mean, I really like Thunder King as a card. I think that is great, but it was just getting to the point where everyone was using it, and they don't really they don't like having stuff that everyone uses. Konami has recently seemed to have lent towards more diverse game states, and having one card that really just does a lot against all of them. Yeah, I don't think that they want that. And Thunder King, I mean, it's good against Prophecy, really good against Prophecy, and they want to be getting their Prophecy support. It's pretty good against my males as well, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, the putting it to 2 makes some sense, I guess. They want to release their stuff. And also, I think Harpies as well, when they come out, they don't do too well against Thunder King. So, yeah, I mean, I understand it. I'm not. I don't think it was necessary, but it's happened, and I can understand why it happened. And this, I mean, I don't know what this will do. Like, I I honestly I honestly don't know. Are they releasing new ritual stuff in the future? Because if they are, then that makes some sense. I guess I don't know. I don't think it will do too much unless you want to play your Perfect Herald. But aside from that, I okay, it's another card that I don't think anyone really cares about. um, that was at 1, now it's at 2. They'll see how that goes. But if there's new support coming out for it, then of course that makes total sense. Then now onto the stuff that's unlimited. Spore. Yeah, I mean, why was it even at 1? Like, it made no sense. But yeah, Spore is at 3. Rejoice, you can now play 3 Spore in your deck. Kalut to 3. I love Blackwings to bits. They're my deck. But I don't think that this will make them competitive again. But it's a step in the right direction. I mean, for me, they need Black Whirlwind at 2, definitely. and probably Gale it too as well before they can even start thinking about being competitive again. But this definitely gives them an edge. Like when you summon Shura now, if you have the Kalut in hand, they aren't really going to be sure of what's coming up. Um, so yeah, it's good. I mean, Blackwings, I don't know why they even hit Blackwings so much, besides the fact that all the Japanese players were playing it. So they seem to be trying to recover archetypes that they'd previously destroyed, like Light Swans. Um, so this for me is a step in the right direction with Blackwings, because Blackwings really don't deserve to be as neutered as they are. So that's good. Somewhat pleased with that. This, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Um, will it have that much effect? I don't know. Um, in Chaos Dragons, I mean, you don't even play the full Light Swan build anyway. So whether Lumina will actually make an impact, I'm somewhat skeptical. But in general, I don't know. I don't like Light Swans that much, so I'm ambivalent towards it, but I don't particularly care. From a from an objective point of view, I guess it's a step in the right direction again, because you shouldn't have stuff that's unnecessarily banned. So I guess that if it isn't gonna break the game, which I don't think it will, then having it at 3 is fine. But time will tell. Maybe those new elemental dragons will uh, make Light Swans better. Who knows? Time will tell. And Smoke Signal at 3. As a Samurai player, I'm happy because I like Smoke Signal. It's good, wins games. But I I don't want to play any mirror matches, and I think that there will definitely be Samurais this format just because if the big 3 are gonna be Prophecy, Fire Fists, and Mamels, then that definitely makes Samurais a contender. So I don't know. Like I don't think it should have gone to 3, quite frankly. I don't see why Signal is um is better for the game than, I don't know, like Emergency Call or Hieratic Seal of Convocation or something like that. I don't see why they should be at 2 but Smoke Signal should be at 3. But I'm gonna be playing Samurais, so I'm not gonna complain. I think the Gateway definitely should have been banned as well. Like, Konami don't like loops as well, and this makes the Samurai hand loop, which is granted stupidly inconsistent, but it makes it more consistent. I don't know. It's alright, I guess. And then Mind Crush at 3. I mean, Mind Crush is a card that I really like, personally. I don't necessarily think it's good, but I like it. I don't think that it should have been like at 2 for this long. I mean, who cares? It's Mind Crush. As to how good it will be, I think that currently, I mean, you have Fire Fist, which use Tenki, and then you can see what they add. You have Mamels and Prophecy, all of those things. I mean, Mind Crush is really live against those matchups. You know what they're gonna have. So Mind Crush has good matchups, but I think the problem is that it doesn't deal with on-field threats. It only deals with prospective threats. So, I mean, would you run Mind Crush over, say, I don't know, Bottomless or Dimensional Prison, where they actually deal with the things when they come out, as opposed to Mind Crush that just, okay, sure, if you have enough and then you do it and you preemptively stop the threat, well done. But it won't always be that way. You won't always draw it at the right time. And then what? I mean, do you really want to be top decking this like late game? I think that I think that it's debatable. I think that it's interesting. Um, but again, time will tell. I think that it has potential in the side deck and in the main deck for certain things like Dark Worlds, where you're going to be maining the viruses. So Mind Crush is definitely a lot more viable. Um, but I'm glad to see it at 3, because I don't think that it deserves to be at 2. I mean, it isn't even that good at 3. Um, but it's a card that I like, and I think that time will tell as to whether it truly gets a chance to shine. But its biggest problem is that it doesn't deal with established setups. Um, so yeah, that's my take on the list. Um, any questions, let me know. I think that overall the list, it did what it had to do. I mean, I think that if you were asking for, I don't know, Diva to 1 or Undyne to 1 or Rabbit to 1, then that was really just asking for a miracle, essentially. Um, you have to look at it from the point of what makes them money, really. What's gonna make Konami money? And I think that in terms of that, the list has satisfied what Konami wants, but it's also done some uh, gone some way to satisfy what we as players want as well. Um, it offers some more variety by bringing back archetypes that were previously overhit, like Black Wings and Light Swans, fucking Light Swans. But it also hit what had to be hit. It hit windups. Sangan was too broken. Um, One Day of Peace is too broken. So, yeah, honestly, I think that the list is alright, and it should be an interesting format next format. So anyways, thanks for watching, subscribe and all that.